winner of 5 PDC titles, a World Championship semi-finalist. Time to walk it back. Hollywood! Two European Championships, the winner of the World Matchplay 5 World Series titles, a Premier League finalist, and the former champion of the world, Dobey, Rob.
Okay then, here we go. Our first semi-final here on night one. Well, Chris Dobey kicked off the night with a 6-4 victory over Gerwin Price on his Premier League return. It was a good all-round display actually, a 98 average, 60% on his doubles. Of course, he won the opening night in Belfast here a couple of years ago when he was last in the Premier League lineup. So can he make it to the final here once again? Well, Rob Cross beat Stephen Bunting with the same scoreline, 6-4 earlier. Some really similar stats actually, a 97.5 average, 55% on the doubles for him. So both pretty impressive in the quarterfinals. But who will come out on the top here then, and who will be the first man through to tonight's final? Let's find out, shall we? Let's head to comms and join Mark Webster and Rod Studd.
Thank you, Emma. Yes, as you say, a certain similarity in the stats between these two players based on what they've produced in Belfast up to press. And the head-to-head record is exactly level as well at 8 wins apiece. So this promises to be a close one. And when Dobey was here in 2023 on the opening night of the Premier League, went all the way to the final, winning it against MVG, and there's a possibility of a repeat meeting against the great Dutchman who goes up against Luke Humphries in our second semi-final. Well, we have the former world champion and former Premier League participant, Mark Webster, alongside us to enjoy the action. Mark, what do you feel about this one?
Obviously, it represents a big opportunity for both players. Both will be satisfied with the fact they've got the 2 points as well. I'm not saying they're going to rest on their laurels, but those quarter-finals are important week in, week out. We said if you can win them on the majority of occasions, it'll give you 1 foot in the playoffs. And these 2 players, obviously in the opposite half to the 2 Lukes, Michael, which is now Michael v. Luke. So it was a good draw for them tonight and a chance to get themselves to a final.
Yeah, it's important to take full advantage of the draw working in your favour, because as you suggest, Mark, there'll be nights when their first round tie, their quarter-final tie, is against Littler, against Humphries, against Van Gogh, where it's much more difficult to make any progress by picking up points. So this was a night that Cross and Dobey had a chance, and they've already picked up points. Can they pick up more? Can they pick up the maximum haul? Both won the first game by 6 legs to 4. Cross with the darts in the opening leg here.
Both deserved winners as well. Stephen Bunting and Gerwin Price played okay. But from what we saw, definitely the correct semi-final lineup in our opener.
Well, they played out one of the great World Championship quarter-finals at the World Championship before the one we've just seen. That was their last meeting, I think, too, and Chris Dobey will want to forget all about it. He led 4-0 in sets and the game seemed done, the game seemed won. But Rob Cross produced the greatest comeback in the history of the World Darts Championship to get home by 5-4. Staggering stuff from Voltage.
Biggest moment in the sport, Chris Dobey. He shared the stage with Rob Cross, the Masters final. And in his only major in the PDC so far, there has been heartbreak, like you said, that World Championship quarter-final. He led against Rob Cross 8-2 in a match play contest in the opening round. Cross finding the first max of the semi-final.
14. Oh, was it? To render the max irrelevant, but it just found the inside of the target. And Rob Cross now looking at 83. It would be for a break of throw in 15 darts or fewer. 16 segment. Treble to left, double 9. Single leaves the bullseye. Have a look at the bullseye here. Oh, he's missed it narrowly.
Chance for Chris. Awkward switch, double 7. Awkward double. There seems to be plenty of room to the right there. There's the risk and opportunities. 3 darts for an early break here for Dobey, and he hasn't taken it.
Better going inside double 7 first dart rather than second. Made the cardinal error. Well, Cross wants double 8. To break. To hold, sorry. Feels like a break, really, the number of chances Dobey had.
Yeah, when you've not got a good record against someone, which Chris hasn't against Rob, early legs can set the tone because you start having that sinking feeling again, especially when you've had opportunities. Chris will be eager just to right the wrong of that first leg, get a hold of throw under his belt here.
Well, Chris Dobey, the odd one out of the semi-finalists. We've got former world champions galore, Cross, Van Gerwen and Humphries. Chris Dobey, semi-finalist. But a really consistent run at the World Championship in recent years, Mark, hasn't he, Chris Dobey? Reaching the quarter-finals and then this time beyond on 3 successive occasions.
Yeah, and the reaction when he beat Gerwin Price in that quarter-final, he felt it was a real hurdle overcome, wasn't it? That double-double finish to finally get himself to a semi-final of a World Championship, and he'd be disappointed the way Michael Van Gerwen was so comfortable against him. It was still more progress for Chris. Ultimately got him his place back in the Premier League.
Elite level player for sure now, Chris Dobey, but there's that step from the elite level that he's now in, this elite 8-man field, and the step up to becoming right in the very elite where you'd say that Humphries, Van Gerwen and Littler currently reside. There's a max, he levels the max count to leave 108 after 12 to hold his throw, but Cross here won't be far behind, if at all.
Staying on the 20s because he can start on the 19s and stay there. Obviously temptation to go to an open bed because there wasn't a clear path through to that treble for Rob. Dobey missed a 145 in the opening leg. He's not going to get a dart for 108.
So there could be another bull attempt here at the end of this trip to the Oki for Rob Cross. Needs the treble 19 to afford that opportunity, and it's the bullseye again for Voltage.
And it's Rob on this occasion with a chance to break. Even this early, this is important for Chris. Missed doubles in the opening leg. Big dart for Dobey early doors, and he can't convert. He's now 0 from 5 and staring at a 2-leg deficit.
Clean-up operation of 25 again for Roberto. Wants double 8. This time it is for the break, for the 2-0 lead. No, sir.
That's off for Dobey. Slow start to semi-final 1 here in Belfast. That looks awkward now. Surely he's shifted, and he is. Over to the left. And the woes on the doubles continue for Chris.
Double 8. Double 4 now. Charlie chasing doubles round the board. Oh, and another 3 go begging.
This is a mess on the outer ring from both players. 16 darts between the pair, missed the doubles already, but it's Dobey who eventually gets that leg on the board. Wasn't pretty, but could be crucial in the context of this semi-final. Shake of the head from Dobey.
Well, it's a good point you make, Mark, because in their quarter-final ties between them, Dobey and Cross missed a grand total of 9 darts at double. And as Mark just explained, in this match so far, they've missed 16 between them. 9 for Dobey, 7 for Cross. That will improve, you have my personal guarantee.
Games like this that aren't going to be pretty. There's going to be more of these throughout the Premier League. I mean, we've got some of the best operators in the sport, but they will have off games. It's about getting through and getting points, and they could be crucial in terms of your quest for the playoffs. Dobey's Premier League campaign a couple of years ago, finished 7th. There was a lot of positives in that campaign. 14 points. He ran on an average of above 97. 6 occasions he lost with a ton-plus average as well. He was just a bit unlucky at times.
And of course he had that block-busting night in Belfast on night 1 when he won. And no matter where he finished, they could never take that away from him. That is a beautifully constructed maximum to leave 48 after a dozen darts, and Dobey will have that 2-dart combo, that pop-pop finish to take the lead. Wow, some pressure here.
Questions being asked. Oh, that's nowhere near. That is on point, and he did well there to compose himself. The first dart was wild, to say the least, at a double. Gets the double 8, grabs himself a 2-1 lead, averages in the low 80s. That could be an important break for Dobey.
Without a doubt. Well, he's got the break. Now can he nurse the advantage?
Both players so far haven't picked up where they left off in their opening semi-finals. It's a scrap, this first semi-final so far. Dobey, crucially, has a break of throw advantage.
Can Voltage, the former electrician, will find the spark here to get himself back playing something like, and most importantly, get the break back at some point. Leaves 150, but Chris Dobey has left double 8. Beautiful setup play. They'll finish now. So Dobey, having dropped the first leg of the match, to win 3 straight and go 3-1 up, wants double 8.
Double 8 again for Dobey. Nowhere near his best, far from it. But it's a 3-1 lead. And how crucial could that second leg be? Rob Cross, 6 starts for a 2-leg lead. He's now seen the last 3 legs go against him. And shake of the head there. It was a bit lungy, that dart at treble 18.
Don't need to be the greatest judge of odds to know that the winner of this tie between Dobey and Cross will go off as the underdog in a final against Van Gerwen or Humphries. But that's not to say they can't win it. After all said and done, we saw Dobey defeat Van Gerwen in a final here a couple of years ago. And just getting to the final, as Mark has outlined, is worth plenty of points. 3 points that it would get you would be a really good start to the campaign.
When you get those favourable draws, we said you've got to run with it. If you get languished, you get cut off at the bottom of the table. Going into week 8 then becomes tricky. Reminder, week 8 fixtures are played 8v1, 7v2, and so on and so on. So you're just making your task even harder.
92.
4 different countries in the first 4 weeks of this year's Prem. Northern Ireland, followed by Glasgow in Scotland. And Dublin, the Republic of Ireland. And then Exeter and Brighton come shortly after that too. So, busy times. 150 for Dobey. We saw Cross have a failed bid at this.
Cross to get back on track here. 7 darts, missed a doubles and voltage in the match.
Well, he's forgotten what hitting a double feels like. That'll jog the memory. 3-2 now to Dobey. And that was a leg that Cross could ill afford to lose. And had he missed that last dart in hand double 16 attempt, Dobey was waiting on 57 to really rub it in and go 4-1 up. So that could yet be important, that double 16.
And the points to factor in as the Premier League gets into the swing of things. Weeks 4, weeks 5. The Pro Tour, the Euro Tour start to factor in as well. So the players have got to juggle their season. So these early weeks, important just to get some points on the board, give yourself something to work with.
That will help. Second 180 for the former world champion. Gives him now a squeak of a break opportunity here, because Dobey leads by 32, but Cross has the darts in his hand. Finds a last dart in hand treble to give him the edge in leg 6. Leaves the fish.
Raised eyebrows there from Rob Cross. Needed that pick-off for the last start. Surprised Dobey didn't come down with the last start.
No maximum outshot, but he can certainly leave this very handy. So Cross here with plenty of chance if Dobey fails to land the 129. Treble 20 ball is all that's left. Bullseye!
That missed for 4-2. Cross to get level. Just seems a real chore for the players this game so far. But Cross does get level. 14 darts. It's all hard work, but we are level. 3 apiece. Neither player anywhere near their best. With a spot in the final at stake. We're effectively at a best-of-5 leg match now.
Well, you described it as a chore, Mark. 86 average Cross, 88 Dobey. which is basically 10 points down for both players on their opening performance.
129.
It's been a fairly quick turnaround for their semi-final. Chris started the evening with the two games. Luke and Michael, Luke and Nathan went fairly quickly, so not been a lot of waiting around. It's just one of them.
One of them indeed. But it's the kind of match that someone's going to pick up the extra point from, and then when you get to 16 weeks in the ledger, no one will care, no one will remember it, but it won't matter to the winner, because they've picked up a crucial extra point, and it might well be enough to help them into the semi-finals and finals night at the O2. Double six here for Cross for a spectacular piece of sharp shooting. Out of context with the rest of the match, but that was spectacular, that was sharp, and that was the highest finish of the match to put Cross back in front.
Chris Dobey found 3 successive legs. After dropping the opener, it's Rob Cross's turn to find 3 in succession in lead, and that 1-3-2 had the time, didn't need to bring the ball into play, and starts with the match. And Rob Cross is just slowly going through the gears. Both players improving, averages getting above 90 now.
431.
So Rob Cross with a perfect combo finish 1-3-2 and the perfect opening salvo to the next leg with 3 treble 20s, but that has really been a total regression, and he's handed back the initiative that he crafted for himself in this leg against the darts. Well, from the sublime to the ridiculous from Rob Cross in the same leg of darts.
For one of these players, there's a hard-earned point incoming. A place in the final in Belfast.
Will he go for it? The bullseye if he does. Chris Dobey reels in the fish.
Well, he hit it in the final in Belfast a couple of years ago. There was a 160 in there as well. Didn't need to go for it, but maybe just feels like he needs firing up, Chris Dobey. Brilliant shot, 4 apiece.
Wow, you talk about back-to-back big finishes. 1-3-2, trumped by the 1-7-0 big fish out, and then Dobey does a cross by following the big finish with a maximum opener at the start of the next. This is what they've come to see.
This is what the best players in the world can do. We're calling this game a real struggle at 3 apiece, and they're struggling to get their averages in the high 80s. Chris Dobey with a bit of brilliance is up around 97 now. Changed in the blink of an eye.
Well, in any regard, he's taken advantage and he's taken the initiative in this leg. Can Cross, hit back, can't leave a finish. Even the maximum would have left him outside finishing range.
Dobey's got to continue this purple patch he's having.
64.
A minimum requirement, really. Would have wanted more, would have expected more, Chris Dobey, but he is on a finish.
Littler and Price have both won Premier League nights in Belfast. They're both out. Dobey won one in between those 2 stars victories on the night in Belfast. He's still standing. The 1-3-2, but a different route this time, Mark, with Dobey on a finish, so he's going to have to go bullseye first here, isn't he?
64. And then a visit 40 for Chris. Well, the pathway to the ball's clear. If Rob can find the treble 19, he can. Dobey should be better placed than this, but it's an opportunity nevertheless.
Single, treble, double. Single, treble is requisite to lead the double, to break, to lead. Chris Dobey with back-to-back ton plus out shots. 1-7-0, 1-2-0. Dobey out front 5-4.
Looking to repeat the scoreline that got him here. 6-4 against Gedwin Price. And that is an invited first start for Dobey. Would have wanted to do more with it. Should have done more with it.
been a seesaw struggle this, and a struggle in every sense for much of the match, but in the last few legs we've seen some sensational stuff. We've seen three-figure out shots, 2 from Dobey, the big fish, then the Shanghai 120, and Rob Cross had a 132. We've seen 7 maximums. And we'll see a Dobey win if he can hold his throw here in the 10th to get into another Belfast final against Van Gerwen or Luke Humphries.
Still delicately poised. Dobey knows he drops through here. Cross will become favourite for this semi-final. It's the one match so far gone to the side and leg, that enthralling encounter between Michael Van Gerwen and Luke Littler.
Dobey by 11 plus these. Wants to close this out here, shut the game down in the 10th leg. Does not want to be going all the way to the 11th, where, as Mark has said, Cross will have the darts. But Cross unable to find the response.
Six darts for the place in the final in Belfast yet again for Dobey. He's going to try and force his way in and grab another treble. It's okay.
Well, from 88, Chris Dobey should get at least a dart at bullseye to win the match. Rob Cross is going to be right behind him. Chris Dobey looking at 88, double 20. We're giving 2 at a double. 18 now. Oh, that is sloppy.
Will he be made to pay? Lifeline for Rob Cross to send it to the decider, and he'd have the advantage of throwing first. It may just be the 1 at a double. That's all it's going to be. Tops to prolong this opening semi-final. Loads of space to the right, but he can't find it, so more match-winning up. Well, first set of match darts coming in for Dobey. Fluffed his lines on the previous visit.
Despite the hashtag careless dart at 18, he's still got 3 in hand, and Chris Dobey is on his way to the big match, the decider in Belfast. He was there in 2023, he's there in 2025. That time he beat Michael Van Gerwen. Now the second semi-final, where 2 former world champions collide. It's mighty Michael Van Gerwen against cool hand Luke Humphries.
Oh, Top, stop this! Oh my word, that could have changed the destiny. We outplayed him and he beat him fair and square. Game knows game. Luke Humphries is the greatest darting force on the planet right now. To beat him, you have got to play so well. Certainly looks like it's curtains. And you get punished. Error. What a performance from Luke Humphries.